Hey everybody, this is Vince Miller. Thank you so much for joining me for this devotional. Today we are in 1 Timothy chapter 3, verse 2. I'm going to read it, part of it again, and then jump to the second qualification. But it reads, therefore an overseer must be, and then jumping forward, the husband of one wife. Okay, this one is a little challenging, but I think it's challenging because when we read the list, we naturally want to be qualified by it, don't we? Like any guy, we want to read it and feel like, well, we measure up. But before we dig into what this means, we need to remember that there are men mentioned in this letter, the totality of it, who were not and were never married. Specifically Paul, Timothy, and Jesus. I mean, Jesus established the church, so he led the church. Paul planted the church, so he led the church. And Timothy is going to direct and determine leaders for this church, which means he's a leader in the church. But none of these guys were married. So we have to give this precedent consideration when we define the intent and the meaning of the phrase, the husband of one wife. Yet, what I think most don't like about this qualification are the exclusions of it. For example, if this qualification means a man must be married, this excludes single guys. And this can't be the case because Paul, Timothy, and Jesus were not married. Or if it means a man cannot have numerous wives at one time, this excludes polygamy, which I hope some of you are not upset about that one, because that's not a great situation by any means. I mean, no one wants more than one. Women don't want more than one husband, and I really don't think men want more than one wife, so I hope that's okay for you. Or if this phrase means one wife for a lifetime, which is an option that some run with, this would exclude divorced and widowed men. And I don't believe this is really the issue that Paul's trying to address here. Otherwise, he would have actually specifically stated that, because there were Greek words for this, and he could have included that here in this text, but he doesn't. Now, the final option, which I think is the best, reads this way in the originating language, which was the Greek. It reads, a one-woman man. So now we have to define what is a one-woman man. Well, a one-woman man would be a man, gender male as determined by God. Don't you hate that I got to say that? But I do today. Who is faithful to one woman, gender female as determined by God. Now, this would exclude all kinds of things like polygamy and promiscuity, homosexuality, and any self-identification as another gender when we define it specifically this way. So what it does then is it captures the value of moral faithfulness between a man and a woman, which is what I believe Paul intends to communicate here. But there is a little more, because remember, we already stated Jesus, Paul, and Timothy were all single. So the statement would have to infer something more than just moral faithfulness inside of a marital relationship. It would have to include a component of sexual purity for the unmarried man. With this, I conclude that Paul is trying to make a razor-sharp point here, and the point is, married or single, this man is morally and sexually pure and faithful. This is demonstrated by how he follows through on his commitments to God in his relationship with another. So if he's married, he is morally and sexually pure. If he's not married, he is also morally and sexually pure. Either way, he is a one-woman man. So now the question that results is this. Are you being morally and sexually pure? Because that's the qualification. Are you doing it? And again, remember, no one's perfect, but we can aim at perfection. We can repent of wrongs, receive God's grace, reconcile relationships, and be directed by the Spirit to live morally and sexually pure. And this is what we should aspire to. So, aspire to it and remove any hint, even the hints in your life of moral and sexual unfaithfulness, and be a one-woman man. I love you guys. I hope this blesses you. I hope you'll aspire to it. And with that, I'll see you right back here again tomorrow.